Hello, this is Russ Hansen for Pastor Cecil A. Thompson, and this is Blessings from the Heart. Forget it. Philippians 3:13-14. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. August 1989 was when I received a call from our oldest daughter who lived a few hundred miles from us. She started the conversation by asking if I was sitting down. I told her I was. She said she was in the hospital in Boise, Idaho, with a very rare heart condition. Her words gripped me and caused me to immediately go to the Lord to seek wisdom, guidance, and strength. When we arrived in Boise, the doctor informed us and Brenda that the only possibility of saving her life was a heart and lung transplant. The prognosis of a critical condition struck like lightning. In spite of all the efforts of medical science, Brenda had her perfect healing on July 11th, 1991, when she was ushered into the presence of her Lord. Sometimes the traumatic moments in our lives will change us completely. We may be able to go on, but we will never be able to go back. With a broken heart, I read many of your messages that tell of defeat, deceit, divorce, disaster, or death. As I read and pray for those of you who have written, there is one certainty: you will never be the same. When Brenda called on that tragic day, all our lives changed dramatically. We were not the same family as before. She changed radically from an apathetic believer to a sold-out soul winner. She accomplished far more for her Lord in the few months she was given than many do in an entire lifetime. So how about you? Are you spending your time and efforts trying to put things back the way they were before your traumatic moment? If you are, the object of your efforts is you. Instead of reaching out to others, you may have become self-absorbed and introverted. In the book of Genesis, Joseph was sold into slavery. That was certainly a traumatic moment for him. What did he do about it? He must have learned the Egyptian language so well that he became the head over his master's house. Then he was falsely accused by Mrs. P. and thrown into prison for many years. Joseph's refusal to wallow in self-pity opened the door for him to develop keen organizational skills. Those skills became essential when he was promoted to the second highest position in Egypt to become the means of salvation for his family, even the brothers who had treated him so cruelly and sold him as a slave. To me, one of the most revealing aspects of Joseph's life is found in Genesis 50, verse 20. Jacob had died, and his brothers feared that Joseph would now retaliate for the evil they had done to him so long ago. They concocted a story that Jacob had told them to tell Joseph to forgive his brothers and not harm them. Joseph's words show his total dependence upon God in the good times or the bad times. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. If you're in the time of your pain and trial, look to the Lord and be busy about His business. God is able to use our painful trials to do His work. Look to the Lord and find hope. Blessings, dear hearts. Walk with God today and be a blessing. Pastor Cecil. We trust you've enjoyed today's devotional. Please forward this devotional on to someone who could use the encouragement. If you aren't currently receiving Pastor Cecil's daily devotionals, You can subscribe by going to dailydevotional.com or pastorcecil.com.